and welcome to another episode of Nerd Days. This is the show where we talk about everything nerdy. My name is Mick. With me, as always, are my co-host Josh.
What's up?
Corey.
Hello, hello.
And Jona.
Sick.
Yes. Welcome to the show, guys. If you like what you see here, consider subscribing to the show, liking, and sharing it with your friends. I guess today we're going to be talking about some Jedi Survivor and a couple of other things, but let's just jump into that.
Corey's been streaming it.
At least half of us here have been playing it. Corey's been streaming it, which is awesome. What are you guys? What are your guys' initial thoughts?
It came out on Thursday night.
Yeah, like at midnight, probably.
Yeah, it was at 9 p.m. I tried to stream it, and literally I couldn't download the game. So that was cool. So I think I streamed for like half an hour to an hour, and I was like, all right, sick. This is not happening. So I just ended the stream. But
I think I was watching a stream of them when you were like, well, guys, 4 hours. Like it's like 4 hours left
it was stupid. I was like, their servers were getting just hammered. Yeah. Which was interesting. And I guess one of the detriments to their release was they let you do preload. And I would assume for consoles, maybe it was better worked out. But for PC, it's like I pre-downloaded like the 140 gigs or whatever. But they like made 8 new gigs on that night that just popped up. And like, hey, you got to download this. And it just didn't. It was not downloading in time. So anyway, I played it on Friday. And yeah, it was fun. The game is really good. I think I like Cal. I think the way they write the story and stuff like that, he's a very likable Jedi, and I think his journey is unique. Just the fact that he's just kind of trying to do his own thing. You know, he's just one Jedi and trying to fight against the Empire, and it's like, you know, you get to kind of see how that affects his general morale and kind of how he's rethinking things on what he can do. But they did a really good job at the beginning of the game to kind of like do a slight recap of what happened in the first game to kind of remind you of like some of the key moments. Actually, they spent quite a lot of time on that, and I appreciated that because I didn't play the first one again right before this, so I needed some reminding. It's been a while.
Is it so like the recap? Is it like a story you're seeing, or do you actually play through recap?
It was just a cutscene, like a cool animated like clips of moments that happened in cutscenes from the first game.
It was really cool. It was almost like a dream sequence kind of thing. So like you would see like his master like as a statue, and then he would crumble away, and then it would show you like a scene. It was really well done. It had like almost like a Force vision feel to it. Oh, nice. So yeah, it was cool that they kind of worked it in instead of being like click triangle for a recap. You know, they like just like lead you right into it, and it was definitely a good setup for the game.
It wasn't Cal like playing with action figures, like reenacting. Yeah. Oh, okay. Not as cool,
I have the high ground.
How far have you guys gotten into the game?
I think I'm a third of the way through, close to halfway.
Josh?
We're not super far into it. Crystal and I are playing together, so just like trading off basically.
Nice. That's fun.
But yeah, we're just back on the first world we've been to basically. Oh, okay. So we're just kind of exploring around there.
What's it called? Kobo? Is it
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how long the game is supposed to be?
20 hours.
Okay.
So 20 to 25. 20 to 25 is what they said.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I will say, when you're streaming, I feel like I'm just kind of blank-minded trying to figure out puzzles because it's just a different aspect of it because you don't know who's watching. You can see 4 or 5 viewers on the side, and you're like trying to like
pressure's on, dude.
Okay,
they're
so
like,
you got to perform, bro. You got to perform.
I'm literally being like, okay, I went this way. Literally on the first like prologue area, or maybe a little past the prologue, but the first like in Coruscant. Mm-hmm. There's this part where you're trying to traverse the area, you don't know where to go next, and I'm just like, okay, they said they improved the map, okay, like, and I'd already been spending like 20 minutes trying to figure out where to go, and I like check the map, and they're like, oh, you told me to go down here, and I'm like, this was a dead end. I go down there, and literally the line of sight is just enough blocking, and if you walk a little bit further in, you see this tiny little slit that he can slip in.
Yeah,
that always gets me with this game, is like these little slits that he can slip through. That's where you're supposed to go.
Send the droid through.
Gets me every time, dude. But I'm used to it now. But yeah, that was the only thing that kind of caught me. But they did improve the map. to a good degree. They have a kind of an assist mode where it'll kind of give you a hint on where to head on the map if you're going the wrong way or whatever.
That'll save me many hours.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Assist.
Movement's good. I will say I probably had it the worst as far as like the glitches and stuff like that. 'Cause
I heard
on
PC was bad.
Well, it depends on your graphics card. There's some people who have it really bad where like a bad guy's cloak will just glitch out and just like just fill up your screen, like that bad of glitchiness.
A new force power that we haven't seen before.
Or for me, like there's a couple like jitter moments. If you go back and watch the stream, you'll be able to see some jitter moments on some cutscene. Like it wasn't like a cutscene, but it's like you're walking through while you're like cuffed up, and there's some jittering because there's a lot of things going on in the background. And I have a really good rig. Like my computer's super good. But they just put out a patch today, and I went in just to go look at things. Oh my gosh. I was playing on Ultra. It was not Ultra. Today I was like, this looks so much better. Oh my gosh. And I was getting over 130 frames.
Wow.
It felt so good.
Yeah.
But before, when I was streaming, didn't feel anything close to that. It felt like probably 50 frames or something like that. But I didn't want to show the frames because I was like, I'll be sad if I see them. So.
Is streaming affected at all?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So the power of your PC really enables you to stream. So it's more taxing on your computer when you're streaming because you're encoding basically the gameplay that you're putting out. So anyway.
But CDOT's got an Elon Musk computer there. It's just the top of the
pretty good.
top of the line.
It's last year, top of the line for sure. Yeah. But yeah. What'd you think about the combat? How have you felt? What difficulty are you playing on?
We're playing on Master, so not the highest, but the one below that.
Yeah.
Which has been good. I mean, part of me is kind of like, I just want to go do story mode, but Crystal wants to play it on the higher difficulty. So we're working through it.
Yeah.
I'm just not a patient player. So I'm like, boss fights, I'm like, I just get super frustrated. Like the ninth sister.
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler.
She shows up, guys.
It's in the prologue.
It's in the prologue, guys.
It's in the Coruscant section.
And
First hour of the
it was
game.
just like, I kept getting
Wrecked.
destroyed. And I'm like, why is she doing that? Like, this is so stupid.
Yeah, same, dude. Yeah.
Anyway, so,
Well,
but yeah, it's been good. We fought another boss. I won't spoil it. It's not a main boss, but Crystal was able to beat this legendary boss. So
Darth Vader.
she was pretty stoked. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really fluid. I really enjoy it. And I like the different stances that you can break out into.
Yeah.
So you can have 2 stances loaded basically. And then when you go to your meditation, you can swap them out. So we only have 3 right now. I think there's 5 total.
Is that kind of like how they did it with Ghost of Tsushima?
A little bit. It doesn't really affect, like there's not certain enemies that are susceptible to a certain stance. It's just on your play style. So you can have the double sided one.
Do you have the crossguard one yet?
No.
That one I want to see.
So I think that's the 5th one.
That's the last one.
And then I think there's a blaster one is the 4th.
That's the one before.
The Ezra one, lightsaber blaster.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can do single.
You just
shoot
you're
people.
Like, that's easy. But no, they do a good job at balancing. Like you have to hit with your lightsaber to regenerate your ammo and energy on your blaster. Cool. So it's more like shoot, go in, like dive in, do some things, dip out, shoot. They have some really cool perks that looks like I haven't fully spec'd into it at all, but it's almost like McCree from Overwatch or whatever his name is now, where you
Canceled.
Yeah. I can't remember what his name is. Not Jesse. I think that's the actual guy's name. Frick. What's his name? Cassidy. Yes, that's his new name. Anyway, he has this ultimate attack where he's like, he gets to auto aim and like lock up, like auto target people and then go and like shoot a bunch of people at the same time. You can get that perk in with the blaster combo, which is really sick. Which right about now I'm wishing that I had, because I'm doing this one challenge mode where it's like you have to kill 150 droids, or this is one of the things I ended on my stream. You have to kill 150 droids in this very small circular room, and they're just coming in these capsules nonstop. They just overwhelm you. They're not hard.
Yeah.
There's just so many of them. They just crowd you in. If you don't have the right stance loaded up, things can be really difficult.
Yeah.
So like the double-sided lightsaber is really good for area of effect, AoE attacks, like cleaving a bunch of dudes down. I don't have that one. I have the blaster one with the single sword, and then I think I just have the single lightsaber right now, currently, and it's so hard. Oh my gosh. But I'm playing on the hardest one, so it's freaking difficult. But yeah, the game's really fun. I think that the customization, they stepped it up a lot. I can't help but go back to that freaking lightsaber table. Every time I get a new thing, I'm just like, let's go look at that real quick. Today I'm going to go purple, like, ooh, sweet.
Lightsabers are cool now, but what about the poncho table?
The poncho table? Yeah, his wardrobe is sick. Yeah. You can get a bigger beard. You can
That's what I hated.
Haircuts.
That's what I hated
They only
about
had ponchos.
about the first game is like, oh, you found something, and then it's like, oh, it's another poncho. Another poncho. I was like, I wanted armor. I wanted some cool stuff. But it was like, oh, no, orange poncho. Oh, now it's a brown and green one.
Dude, there's some sick armor. Some of it looks kind of like Old Republic, kind of like, like Clone Wars Obi-Wan's armor.
Oh, yeah.
Like that kind of style.
Oh, nice.
Like it almost looks like plate, but not plate armor, but it's pretty cool
That was the cool thing about the Force Unleashed, as I feel like when you got certain like...
Force Unleashed was like Star Wars on crack, dude.
So hopefully, I mean, it seems like they've made it that way better.
Yeah, I think my favorite is probably the two-handed crossguard one or the dual wield stance.
Nice.
It's pretty sweet. I get to feel like Ahsoka because you get to do this sweet ultimate attack where you just hold your lightsabers up and you're just focusing on the like, it's almost like Ultra Instinct Goku, where once they hit you, you're just like. So you're like, you just like counter them automatically.
Yeah, it's an auto counter.
It's very cool. But yeah, bosses are hard. It feels like it's like a Souls-like game where you have to learn their attack patterns, and they're very punishing. Like they can full combo you. That sister, she could 3-hit you, easily if you don't dodge. So. Fun, challenging game. Lots of collectibles, lots of little resources you can find, and then you can buy upgrades. You get new relics and stuff to give you like more, like be quicker at dodging, and you get more health and just a lot of different things. So a lot there. They pulled no punches on this game.
Nice.
I think it's really good, and the story is pretty cool. I don't know how far you are, but it doesn't like a interesting. Dark side kind of story,
Yeah.
Classic Jedi.
That's why we're right at that.
You're right
point,
there.
So
Yeah.
I'm super interested to see where it goes, kind of a thing. So
Yeah.
So
is
far,
that
so good.
character? Is he a known entity? Like, would these guys even know who the guy is?
I don't think he is.
No.
You think he's unique to?
Yeah, I think he's unique to the story.
What's his name? Dagon.
Mm-hmm.
Dagon something. He's cool though. His story was very interesting.
Yeah, I think they're saying they teased him in the
a book or something.
No, in the first game.
Oh, really? Oh.
You could have find like certain
like a hollow.
You'd find certain things and you could go in and kind of look and it would tell you little stories about it. Like,
okay.
And one of them, the last one you got was called Survivor, and it was like you found a
clue to the second game.
No, it was something just like
straight up.
It looks like it was a crash ship or something. Anyways,
yeah.
People were saying like, were they teasing
maybe
this
reference
character?
to that. That's cool.
But story wise, it's really cool. It makes me want to explore more things in this kind of realm. Other stuff that they've done. So we'll see if I dive into that after the game.
Yeah. So overall, from what you've played so far, what would you give it, rating wise?
I mean, I'm not very far into it, but I think it's a solid 8 right now.
Yeah.
Does it feel better than the first one?
I think so. Yeah, it does. Just combat wise and the different, all the customization options and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's definitely better. Everything's an improvement on the last game from what I've played so far.
Yeah.
Map is better.
Yep.
It's still not my favorite, but it's a lot better than.
It's still not the best. Yeah.
I don't like that the representation of that style of like a 3D map. I don't like it at all.
It's also kind of confusing when they have. Here's where you've been the last like 100 steps. It shows the trail where you've been, but a lot of the times we go in circles.
Yeah.
So it makes the map busy, and then you have this assist, which does help. It's a gold line that shows you where you should go. But then they also have this main objective icon, which is quite confusing because there's no way you can get to that. Like, for instance, in the very first prologue, the main thing is get to the ship, but the ship you can't get to. But they have this giant icon on this ship, which you can't get to until way later. So it's like, okay,
yeah,
do I just
helpful.
go there? No. So it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's still not perfect, but it's better than the first game for sure. I think that if you like customization, if you like that kind of hack and slash, like dodge, parry kind of gameplay, that's what you're doing the whole time. You're fighting, parrying, and dodging. I think the best thing about the game is that they have 5 different difficulty levels. So you can, is it 5 or 4?
It's 5, I think. Yeah.
So you can kind of dial it down mid game as much as you need to kind of get through and enjoy the game for the story,
Yeah, just enjoy
mode. It.
That's what I did with the first one. I started high.
Yeah.
I started high, and then I remember in that first level, I kept I died like 15 times. The stupid frog kept getting me with his tongue, and I would be like, this is dumb. I'm just gonna I want this. Give me story mode. I'm already getting a headache anyways because I have to go.
Yeah, if you want to see how I handle frustration, watch the replay of the stream, because some of those first bosses, because I'm trying to. First of all, so they said they're like, for the best experience, play it on controller, and I'm like, all right. I never play games on controller except for Rocket League, which is a driving game, right? And I could feel myself just at a disadvantage because it's so foreign to me. So eventually, I think I got through 2 or 3 hours of play, and then I was like, F this. I just got to get back to this keyboard and mouse, and I had to relearn that, but it felt instantly so much better, and I could control the camera better. And for me, I had a couple moments of not wooziness or anything to that level, but uncomfortable eye movement. It felt almost stressful on my eyes, because the camera, you have to be pretty good about, moving the camera while you're moving and keeping it nice and smooth. With the mouse, I'm just so much better at that. So first of all, it looks better. It looks more cinematic because I can kind of control the angle and stuff. And second of all, mentally, it's a lot easier on my eyes. So if you're used to controllers, obviously play controller. But I personally had to switch to keyboard and mouse. But after that, I played so much better. It was awesome. But
unfortunately, everyone left the stream.
Yeah.
You had 7, and then they're like, "Oh, this guy sucks.
This guy stinks."
And then he's like, "Oh, mouse and keyboard."
Yeah, that's when I actually played well. Yeah, but I will say, shout out to Ethan. He came by. You came by. Luke Wiley came by and said hi. Nice. We were talking a little bit. That was on the second gameplay night. And I can't remember. Literally, Darth Vader came in, and he said, a guy named Darth Vader came in and said, he said something, and he said, "You will run." I was like, what the heck? He's just trolling
Did you run?
I had to run.
All right.
Yeah, it was scary.
Guess he was right.
But yeah, that was a fun time.
Are you going to keep doing it? Keep streaming?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Because it requires me to be there.
Yeah.
And I can't just break away and say, hey, Debris, and do this or that. And streaming is okay. I think if there's more people, maybe I'd be more, inclined to do it. But yeah, I don't know. I might just play offline a little bit, but it was fun. It was definitely fun. I made a fun thumbnail where I put my face.
That was pretty sick.
It's pretty funny.
I was like, oh, that's cool. Cal Kestis has glasses.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
I'll give it I think it's an 8.5, honestly, because I really enjoy Souls games. I was talking to James about it. He's like, I hate those Souls games. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And he'll just be done with it.
Yeah.
Right? He'll run a boss 15 times in a row, still can't get it done.
Yeah.
For me, I like the feeling of conquering a challenge like that. Usually this is how it goes. I'll get destroyed. And on that one time I beat him, I don't get hit once. And I perfect it. It's so good. But yeah. Anyway.
Mick, are you planning on getting it?
I am. Yeah, I'm just playing through another game right now. I'm almost done with it, but
What other game? What's more important?
It's not more important. I just started playing it a while ago.
Roblox.
Last of Us Part 2.
Again?
I've only played it one other time, and I started it because the show ended, so I just wanted to go through it
Finish
again.
what you started.
The other thing I wanted to ask you guys, this probably doesn't have much to do with the game. What the time
Good
period?
time to ask.
No, but the time period of it, right? Because I forget what
Post Order 66.
Right, so it's right after. What's the time jump now on this game?
I don't.
Do you know?
I think they mention it. It's a couple years.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
for sure.
I think it's a couple years.
So do you guys?
Is Han Solo showing up?
No, would Cal Kestis fit in any upcoming show that's going to be a Star Wars show coming up? Like, could you guys see? I know it's hard because
hard.
You're saying certain things, like he's got certain abilities,
Effing insane.
right?
Yeah,
So you
hard.
kind of have to neuter him
You have to nerf him down.
in live action, right? For a show,
For sure.
because you can't have him showing up. But would it make sense to you guys that he would show up in?
I mean, the guy who is Cal Kestis
Right, he's a great actor.
looks like Cal Kestis. Like, he is Cal
Right.
Kestis. So, I mean,
It'd be
it's
easy.
there.
Yeah.
I think he's broken as a character, but he is an interesting character at that. But yeah, I don't know.
He's the ultimate flashback character because he has the whatever, I forget what it's called. It's the same thing that Quillen Voss has, where you can remember memories by touching people's stuff. So he's like your dream. He's your dream character for like a show where you get a bunch of flashbacks. Because anytime he's like, "Oh, let's see what the old Republic was like." Oh, I touched something, and then you get a flashback. So when he was doing some stuff in the game, and I was like, "Man, it'd be really cool to see all this in live action."
Yeah.
We just get a bunch of flashbacks. That's all I want. The flashback show.
So
And this Cal Kestis is just picking up artifacts, and he's like, "Okay, let's see what this one is." Okay.
to be fair, what they're doing in this story with some characters and kind of how they're addressing what happened in the past, so Order 66 and stuff like that, and what's going on in this current story, I think that there is a space for him, or at least some of the secondary characters. I don't know. Is it a spoiler to talk about some of them? I don't know, but some of the characters would definitely fit. Some interesting plot lines for sure.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to finish the game to see where it ends.
You've seen? Oh no, you haven't. Yeah, you don't know it yet. Frick. I don't want to spoil anything. So I think that there's potential. Yes, 100%.
I think he could show up. I think they just need to explain where he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's your typical like, oh, he was off on this planet and was stuck there.
Yeah.
So if they want to bring him back into something post Jedi, like the Ahsoka show or anything like that.
Well, that's the thing. So this is what I kind of want to. Would it make sense? I think this would be kind of a cool thing. But if you have the Ahsoka show taking place in the world between worlds, like parts of it, like would it make sense to have like where she goes and sees a scenario where he's around, like even just an Easter egg, something like that, that would be kind of cool, just to see different outcomes and be like, oh, that's Cal Kestis, and people that didn't play the game wouldn't know. It's like, oh, that's just a Jedi. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like that's the guy from Malcolm in the Middle.
Where the socks on the
So, I mean, there's that, but I'm also thinking like, if there's like the Acolyte, stuff like that,
So-
if there's certain things that could you fit a show?
This isn't. I don't think this is a spoiler. Okay, but
We'll bleep it out if it is.
There are hints, whiffs, little tidbits,
Whispers.
kind of leading us into a similar thing that we kind of got from Obi-Wan, where was it Obi-Wan where they had like almost the underground railroad of Jedi force sensitives. There's a little bit of something there in this game. So I think that that's a thread
Connecting
that can
point.
be, I don't know if it'll be directly connected to Cal, but that's there and could exist in Ahsoka. Who knows? But
Nice.
I think it would be an easy one to add for sure because the actor's like perfect.
Yeah.
But is he interesting enough?
I think so.
Is he unique enough? I think he is. I think he's pretty cool.
Name one other redheaded Jedi.
That's true.
No, well, I do think,
But I think he's similar to almost Ezra in a way.
I think you'd kind of have to add him with another well-known character.
Okay.
I don't think it would be his story. I think he would have to show up in another show.
No, yeah, he can't be a standalone
because I do know a lot of people play video games, but I do think there is a big section of people that watch shows that watch Star Wars that aren't playing the video games. And so I just think
no, he has to be paired up with some other.
That's what I'm thinking.
Bigger
like,
guy.
It would be one of those things where you have this show, like say it's an it's not an Ahsoka show, but say like a character like that, and then he shows up, and people that play the games that know who he is immediately are like, "That's awesome," and people that don't are like, "Who's that guy?" And then maybe that gets them to go play or read up on who the story is. I think that would work really well. I don't think unless this game like does a ton of sales, which I don't know
because of the performance issues off the bat. It killed its momentum. They got crapped on.
It was just the PC side.
No, also the console stuff. There's a lot of lag and low FPS on certain consoles and some bad experiences, but mainly PC. But
that's too bad.
I don't know. From my experience, it was totally fine. So I don't know what all these guys know. I saw the stuff. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But is it Respawn?
Yeah.
Respawn did tweet about it, and they did put out that patch. So they addressed PC first, because they were the worst, and then patches for PS5 and Xbox One.
That's why the Switch is just superior. You can't even play the game.
Can't even play it, so you got no problems. That's right.
No glitches here, baby.
No game, no glitches. Good life.
Were you going to say something else, or can we move on?
Yeah, we can go.
Okay. If you have played the game, let us know what you thought about it. If you haven't, if you're excited to play it, let us know that as well in the comment section. We'll probably be following.
If you want me to keep streaming, let me know.
Yeah, that's
I need encouragement. Otherwise, I'm probably going to stop. It's not going to lie. Because it is kind of it's hard.
What's your Venmo account? They can pay you to stream.
Yeah, pay. Boy, this is getting weird, bro.
Pay to
stream, baby.
But and then let us know if you want us to, once maybe we've all played it, kind of do a spoiler talk on the story once it's gone.
Cool
we can do.
We
might be able to do that if you guys are interested in that. We're going to move on.
I've got a special surprise. Okay. Now, last week was our 100th episode, was it? Or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks.
All right, guys. Hey, no one's perfect.
It's been a long time.
No one's perfect, but guys,
we're going cruising towards 200.
I prepared a surprise for the boys. It wasn't a surprise because I asked for their sizes, and I also talked to them about it. But as a gift to them,
matching underwear. Here we go.
Matching underwear
Speedos,
and
baby.
socks. Yeah.
Nerd Age Speedos. Get it.
I had my friend, my cousin Heather Hansen. What's her?
Shout out to Heather Hansen.
Her Twitter is Screen Prints by HH. She printed all this stuff, so thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Heather.
She doesn't listen to this.
She should.
But her husband might. Her husband might. So here I got some sweet sweatshirts.
Oh, that's sick.
Zip-ups printed.
Look at nice.
So it's just our logo on the breast here position, right?
That's
nice.
sick.
This one's mine, guys. Don't worry. It's got fur on it. It's mine. And then on the back, we've got a cool little graphic on the back. It says, "The age of the nerd is now."
That is awesome.
We've got our names on there and just the Nerd Age podcast.
Nice.
Sweet.
That's sweet.
And that's my gift to you guys.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Thank you, Corey.
Pretty sweet. Pretty excited about it. Here, check what size that is. But
I won't say the size so that we don't feel bad about it. Yeah.
But yeah.
Good. We good.
But yeah, guys. That's my gift to you
Okay,
guys.
it's a large.
We did
we did larger than charge.
We did 100 episodes, guys. That's a lot.
That is a lot. Yeah. Over 2 years.
And it's been such a fun time with you guys, and I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Sweet.
There you go. That's your birthday presents.
Perfect weather for some sweatshirts.
Just in time for summer.
Hey, it's supposed to be rainy this weekend.
yeah,
as
we
soon
get
as
to
it
wear
rains,
we get
I'm
to wear it
putting
for
this
1
on.
week, guys. It's awesome.
Dude, this is sweet. Thank you.
yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
And,
Thanks, dude.
Hey, and if you want your own, well,
tell us.
Too bad.
If you want your own, let us know.
if you want us to do a merch shop,
Yeah, if you want one, we'll do it. But it'd have to be a lot
Sick.
of people. But yeah, it's very soft. Thank you, Heather. I trusted her in kind of the pick of which ones to go with, and she said this was the highest quality, nice and soft, really good.
I'm going to
Quality,
put mine
so.
on too.
Yeah, looks good. Anyway, yeah, so happy 100th, 102nd episode, but
Nice.
I think it's our 103rd.
yeah. It's Look, greatness takes time. Okay,
we're cruising towards 200.
that's true.
Cruising for a bruising.
Yeah. But yeah, so what's next? We had CinemaCon and what else?
Yeah, we got we're just gonna go into some random random
nerd
news.
Nerd news roundup.
CinemaCon was last week.
Yep.
And there was a few stuff. Josh, I think you got some stuff there written down.
I got a little list here of things that were announced at CinemaCon. So a lot of the stuff is just kind of like generic, like, the Napoleon movie, Ridley Scott's Napoleon movie. No one cares
Joaquin
about that.
Phoenix. I'm a little excited. Joaquin Phoenix, bro.
The Equalizer 3, stuff like that.
Okay.
With Queen Latifah.
With Queen Latifah.
Wait.
Baby.
No, Denzel.
But the big stuff was, there was a new trailer for The Flash.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that.
I did. That was the international one, right?
I don't think so. It was just the one from.
They did one, but then there was also a Japanese one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
If we can talk about the trailer just for real quick, it felt like more of the same. I feel like I've seen everything that they showed. Again, they showed alternate. Like, again, we all knew Michael Keaton was going to say, "Want to get nuts?
Yeah,
let's get nuts." Like, okay. So I don't know. To me, it was like the Ezra Miller stuff looked a little better.
Everyone says his performance is really good.
So, but it just felt like more of the same kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The music I thought was better in this trailer, but again, we've kind of seen the same stuff over and over again. So.
Sure. Yeah, we've gotten it. We get it.
At this point, you just movies. Okay, give us the movie now.
Yeah.
So.
Anything more would be like kind of ruining story beats.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm glad they're kind of still showing the same stuff. I'm like, I don't want to see. Yeah, I did kind of roll my eyes at the. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Yeah, I was like, who do you think he's talking to? Right?
Yeah, but
exactly. What situation would he?
He's talking to the Flashes.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was just kind of like, okay.
There's some guys out there freaking out.
Oh, I know.
Favorite line.
People love it.
There was a guy I was following on Twitter that was like, he's like, I'll bet $1 million that it was after the second trailer where he's like, I'm Batman, and he's like, I'll bet you $1 million that Michael Keaton said in the movie says, "Want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." And then in the trailer comes out and he's like, "Told you guys,
pay up, boys."
He's like, they didn't even save it for the movie; they showed it in the trailer.
Dang,
that might not even be in the movie. They might have done like alternate cuts just to be like, "Hey, say all your favorite
random lines."
Yeah,
dude, that is on the table a lot now. Little dirty tricksters.
But yeah, other than that, they showed a new Blue Beetle trailer for them that showed more of the villain. There was an extended look at Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So I'm sure we should be getting a trailer at some point.
Yeah. Cool.
With that, the Dune Part 2 had its first trailer shown.
Didn't they do a screening of The Flash?
Yeah, they showed the movie. Yeah,
but it was apparently unfinished.
Some of the VFX.
I heard it wasn't final. Yeah,
one of the VFX isn't finished, but they showed the whole movie to people without. The bonus scenes, the end credit scenes.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the reviews for it, where people were saying that it was really good. But
are we excited about Blue Beetle?
I'm not.
I'm so excited.
I think the effects look cool. Yeah. I don't know.
Family drove me crazy.
I think I'm just excited to see something different. You know what I mean? It's a new superhero we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Have we seen Blue Beetle before?
Well, yeah, but is it going to be different? Because the trailer felt like it's a generic superhero movie that we've seen a million times.
But the family was involved like Shazam almost.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like it almost felt.
Yeah.
Or Black Adam in that way, where the family was a part of the story a lot. Hopefully it's not.
Or like Ant-Man, where it's like, oh, now my daughter is a superhero.
Watch that. Oh, dude, it's coming out on streaming so quick,
bro. You gotta
watch it on the 17th, baby. I can't wait.
I know we shouldn't digress into this stuff, but I just feel like to me it just felt very generic. Like your typical.
Hopefully they can prove us wrong.
Yeah,
maybe the trailer was just generic.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. It's like a catch-all trailer.
That's right. Yeah, no, I have hopes for it.
Okay,
and I think there's a lot riding on it because it's supposed to be like the first kind of.
They keep going back and forth.
Man, they got to make up.
James Gunn originally said
was the first one.
No, that resets it.
Okay, so
that resets to then.
Is that kind of like zero's not a number? you know.
Well, that's what they're saying. I think what they're doing is this is what they're doing with the Flash. It resets it to set the stage for James Gunn's universe.
Right.
Whatever people like in this, they might be like, well, you want more? You liked Keaton? Okay, well, it's the Flash, so it's another universe.
Yeah.
Or Supergirl or anything like that.
Was Gunn involved in any way on the Blue Beetle?
Nothing at all.
Really?
If you ask James Gunn,
yeah, he'll say yes after it's good.
Yeah, once it's good.
Someone said that.
Bad? Nope.
So this is what happened before this all happened. Someone posted. James Gunn is kind of an idiot. As far as like, if you're the head of a studio, don't argue with people on Twitter. Like Kevin Feige isn't on Twitter arguing with fans. Like, there's no benefit to it. But he was on Twitter, and someone said something like, James Gunn has nothing to do with Shazam, The Flash, or Blue Beetle. And James Gunn, this was like 5 months ago, and James Gunn posted, he's like, oh, I wish I would have known that before I started giving notes on all these movies. Right? So then after he said it, so people are like, okay, so that's when the news from The Flash started saying that they're changing all that. They cut Henry Cavill, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So he's been giving notes to these movies about like how to fit in his universe. But then when Shazam flopped, Shazam 2, people were like, oh, well, James Gunn, like, what? Why were you gave him these notes? And then he said something like, well, I don't necessarily give notes on, like, you don't know what movies I've given notes on. So he keeps arguing back and forth. Apparently he says, I've given notes to how to change these things. I'm in charge now. So technically he has nothing to do with it, but
you never know.
It's just kind of
it's
a crapshoot.
Just on Twitter anyway. It's like just
Yeah,
you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, but I'm like,
especially now that he's
he's the head of DC. It's like, bro, just
not CEO.
Have someone else manage your tweets, and don't get in arguments with guys that have 2 followers.
He has too much fun with it.
What was the next thing?
Dune Part 2 had its first trailer released. And so if you thought that the first one was boring, good news for you. The director, Denis Villeneuve, Nick loves that one. He said that it's a war movie, and so it's more action-packed and everything. So
I really enjoyed the first movie.
Yeah, I just know a lot of people. I really love the first one, but I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's kind of slow.
I can't wait for these war scenes with the slow-moving bullets to get so they can get through the shields. Like, that's gonna be epic. You know, they're all running, and it's like,
it's gonna be like Frogger, dude. It's gonna be Frogger.
Here it comes! Like, run faster!
Dodge it.
No.
What's slow-moving bullets? What are you talking about?
Well, you'd have to have a vibro.
Didn't they have the ones that they in the first movie they shot that they had to like be moving slower so they could get to the shield?
You're talking about
that's the sword. The
no,
knives.
you're talking
no,
he had the little arrow.
You're talking about the bug.
Yeah, the bug that
would kill him.
So not bullets.
Not a bullet.
Okay, well, I'm saying they should develop bullets that go slower so that they can get through shields.
I don't think you know how physics works. The bullets would have to have wings on them.
Well, you don't think they can do that? Look at all the technology they have. They have shields. They have vibro blades.
Will have a small shield in front of it that slows it down.
They can't
exactly.
They can't put wings. They can't put little remote controls on bullets and shoot them out and be like, so give me a 30 miles per hour on this one. Get through them shields.
I just think it's funny that's like the logic is like the vibrating swords is like what beats it. Anyway, this is kind of funny. Anyway, I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, cool. I hope it's better because the first one I wasn't super impressed with.
Have you guys rewatched Dune?
Yeah, I actually have. I've watched it
I
twice.
think I only saw it once.
I watched it.
I only saw it once, and I didn't have any desire to watch it again.
I watched it in theaters. I did feel it was a little long the first watch.
I watched it in theaters, but I've never.
I watched on IMAX.
I even went
legit
to
IMAX.
I went to Best Buy and they had the Steelbook, and I had it in my hand, and then I was waiting in line, and I was like,
"What am I doing?" Yeah.
I don't want to rewatch this.
I mean, you have all those Alfred Hitchcock movies.
You don't watch them, bro.
Well, those are classics.
No, those are classics.
Dune's not a classic.
Putting stuff on his wall.
Do you like the soundtrack though?
The soundtrack is great, of course. Okay. It's the GOAT, Hans Zimmer.
Soundtrack's trash.
You guys know what scene I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like all the scenes.
What else, Josh? What else we got?
The other thing else, I mean, Disney, they did there's a new animated show or movie called Wish. Chris Pine is like the villain, I think, in it.
Yeah, and it's like hand drawn. Like they use the they're using a style that makes it still look like it's hand drawn.
Yeah,
it's kind of a mix between 3D and 2D kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it looks interesting visually. It's not like you're straight up like Encanto or something like that. So it looks a little different. They released a trailer, so it's online also.
Yeah, and it goes back to like from the studio that brought you like
all
Sleeping
the
Beauty.
Yeah.
This kind of trying to give that nostalgic feel to it, like Snow White and Beauty and the Beast and stuff like that. So it looks interesting. But
yeah,
Oppenheimer was the other. Christopher Nolan showed, I think, 15 to 20 minutes of Oppenheimer. And there's a new trailer going to be dropping with Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But people were saying that the movie looks absolutely intense and insane. So I'm kind
Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
No,
yeah, dude.
Oppenheimer.
Sick, dude.
So I'm stoked. I think that's the movie I'm most excited for coming up this summer. Is one guy
we'll
said...
We'll have to go recheck your list just to confirm that, so you're not like switching things around.
One guy said that this might be Nolan's best chance at getting an Oscar, so...
That'd be cool.
I'm down.
He deserves it.
I mean, at this point, they're just going to have to give him one. It could be his worst movie, and they'd be like, it's like Leonardo DiCaprio finally getting one, you know?
It's
like,
time.
oh, yeah, okay, here you go.
Yeah. Can't avoid it anymore.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think they said they saw 20 minutes of the new Pixar movie Elementals, and they said people were really excited about it. They're like, oh, the first 20 minutes captures more of what it's about than whatever the trailer's been. But that's pretty much all that's come out. All the other stuff is like, kind of random. Taika Waititi's new movie, stuff like that, that are not necessarily nerd adjacent or nerd related. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, here's a nerd adjacent.
100%.
Gladiator 2. The cast for Gladiator 2, all you Ridley Scott nerds. Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington. I mean, come on.
Have you heard of him? Ever heard of him?
Barry, I think it's Keegan.
Alan?
Keegan.
Keegan?
Kogan or Keegan, whatever. Joseph Quinn and our boy Mando, Pedro Pascal, Gladiator 2. I'm stoked for Gladiator 2, guys. I'm just telling you right now. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It's a great cast. I'm excited for
Didn't Pedro Pascal not fare that well in his last Gladiator scenario?
He did not. Also, he's terrible in the Great Wall. Have you guys seen that movie with Matt Damon?
No.
Pedro's in that?
Yeah.
Really?
It was a bad movie.
Who's he in that movie?
That was his sidekick.
Some dude?
Yeah.
Oh. Bad guy. That movie looked bad.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's why I didn't watch it.
Isn't Matt Damon supposed to be Chinese in that movie?
No, he's not.
Oh.
But people were mad because he's a white guy and he saves everybody. So they're like, oh, come on.
Spoilers.
He saves them all?
Matt Damon, bro.
Is Matt Damon in the Gladiator 2?
Gladiator?
No, but he might be an Oppenheimer. I think he is an Oppenheimer.
No, yeah.
I think he's the bomb. He's actually
he's the bomb.
the A-bomb.
He's the bomb.
We need the bomb to be more relatable. Let's
Make him a human. Is that it for CinemaCon?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Let's do... apparently, there's some rumors for you Marvel fans out there.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four. There's some rumors of potential casting. The big one is basically Adam Driver. They're saying is probably a lock for him to be playing.
The Thing.
No, Reed Richards. They said Margot Robbie has been offered Sue Storm. This is the weird one. They're saying Mila Kunis as the Thing. That's weird.
No, she denied it.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, which who knows what that means? Yeah. She said she's not the Thing, but she knows. Oh, no. Interesting, because I think she denied Sue Storm.
She denied Sue Storm.
Yeah.
But she said, and she
says, I know who is going to be Sue Storm.
Right.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know.
Why would she know? So why would she know then she's the Thing?
That would be weird. Yeah. I did hear that they did say they were going to they might do a female Thing, which apparently it happens in the comics at some point too, whatever.
Then who's the Human Torch was another guy, but I think he
Chris Evans coming back?
No, but there was another guy. I can't remember his name, but apparently he is not doing it. He turned it down. So we think we just have the 3 castings there. Interesting. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan, so I could care less. As far as like, I like Adam Driver. I think that's kind of a cool idea.
You could care less.
You care a little.
So you could,
No, I could. Yeah,
you couldn't care less.
I
Or
could.
you could care less.
That means you do.
I
care.
couldn't
So do you
care
care or
less.
do you not?
I couldn't
bit.
care less.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Care less.
Nailed
Yeah.
it.
I couldn't care less, guys.
You got it.
I could care more.
So you care. Yeah. I think we
Yeah.
all could care.
The Fantastic Four has a lot of potential. A lot of people say the best Fantastic Four movie is The Incredibles, which I totally agree with, because the other ones that we've gotten are not very good at all. So if it's done right, I think it can do very well. Just the idea of family, being the core of the story. I think
They should make Vin Diesel a thing. He's already Groot. It's basically a similar role, right?
Yeah.
and they don't even have to give him makeup.
Yeah.
That was kind of mean.
Looks like a bunch of rocks. That's a crazy diss. You look like a pile of rocks.
It'll be the
Don't
ultimate
don't
diss.
call him a bunch of rocks because he hates the Rock.
No.
They're from the feud,
yeah.
bro.
That's his worst. Yeah.
That's
probably
his worst
why-
insult. You're a bunch of rocks. He's like, hey.
He probably turned
What
it
do you
down.
mean by that?
He probably turned down that role because of that. I don't want to be a rock. I hate rocks.
Yeah, but we'll see. I don't think any of those names were like anything I had in mind for the cast, but
Yeah.
who knows? Cast can always surprise you. So
Yeah, some people were saying like, oh, not Margot Robbie. Like, she's already Harley Quinn and Barbie. She should let someone else. I was like, let her. She can do whatever she wants. Like,
Yeah, she's becoming the rock of female roles. Like, you know what I mean? She's just going to get everything.
She does seem like a weird choice for Sue Storm, I feel like. I don't know.
I don't think so.
But
I
paired
think
up with Adam Driver? Because they're supposed to be in love.
I feel like I'm just
you know what I'm saying?
I feel like I'm just picturing like
you're thinking her as Harley Quinn. Yeah, you're thinking her as like, yeah, a bunch
has
of
a New
angels
York
splurging,
accent.
or whatever the line is from James Gunn's.
That's not a real voice.
Well,
Just news.
very similar.
but
Some of you thought Margot Robbie was on the
She doesn't
podcast.
have a New Yorker or whatever.
That's it's Harley Quinn. She does.
No, I'm saying in real life. She
Oh.
doesn't talk like that. Yes, I know that.
I think the only one I'm like, oh, I like Adam Driver. Like he's a really good actor. So I'm like, if you put someone like that as your lead or one of your leads, I think I'm already going to be interested or more interested than normal. But yeah, same thing. I was never a huge Fantastic Four fan or anything like that. So I couldn't care less, to be honest.
I know what you mean.
I don't like stretchy guys. Someone stretchy isn't cool to me.
Yeah, but
Gumby.
he's super smart.
Stretchy,
What?
smart guy. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Smart guy. He's a smart guy.
Now that's a movie I can get
Stretchy's
behind.
bullshit.
Da-da-da-da-da. Smart guy. No? Disney Channel.
You guys don't like smart guy?
Golden Age. Golden Age of Disney Channel, yo.
You Disney nerd?
I was back in the day, bro.
Disney nerd?
Boy Meets World, smart guy, sister.
You know, the rumor from Disney that I heard, well, not from Disney, was that they apparently scrapped a Rey movie, but an
Ooh,
old
there's a good
Rey
rumor.
movie.
Yes.
Old
they scrapped,
Rey,
they
like,
scrapped it though.
like
she's
that
like old.
Wolverine,
The reason,
Yeah, like that.
like Logan.
the reason, this is the, so,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to go into
R, rated R.
Nerd Age Rumor Hour. Damon Lindelof's movie that was he was writing the Rey movie. It was gonna take 60 years
Holy
after The
smokes.
Force Awakens, and Rey. They were looking to get Rey to be played by
Who's the-
Helen Mirren.
Yes. Yep.
This is the rumor. This is the rumor.
No wonder they
And that's-
fired Damon Lindelof.
That's why he got fired, because they were like, "This, we don't want to do this." He wanted to get away
She
from.
wanted to end Ray immediately.
He wanted to get
movie,
away.
done.
He wanted to get away from the whole sequel trilogy, and he's like, "I want to do my we're doing this."
Yeah.
We're
and they were
starting
like, "No,
another trilogy.
we need you to do
crazy.
like not so much in advance." So that's why he left the project,
Yeah.
and now it's someone else writing it because it's 15 years after The Force Awakens instead of 60.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great. I mean, it sounds like something Damon Lindelof would do.
It's pretty wild.
I would have picked Maggie Smith, personally.
Okay.
Who's Maggie Smith?
McGonagall.
Oh,
Wow.
she's still alive?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Deepfake, bro. Anyone's alive.
Deepfake.
Caster's Tarkin.
That's crazy, dude. What a terrible idea.
I don't know.
What do you mean, bro?
No.
That's dope. Just never been done before, bro.
No.
Let's talk. We like the sequel trilogy. You kind of do. Besides that, but Mick hates it. What? Would you be okay with them skipping? I think there's a lot of people that would be like, yeah, let's just forget that ever happened, and we can jump 60 years.
But your target audience is 40-year-old white dudes, whereas if you want to tell the story of Rey, you really want to capture the kids.
Why would we say white?
And Asian dudes and all other dudes as well.
I was joking.
You know what I'm saying? Like you would be targeting a specific Star Wars theory. Would be like, I can't wait to get rid of Rey.
Those are the people that are up in arms about this. Like, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, and then you think about all the girls that saw Rey be their first Jedi, and they're like, oh, I love Rey.
I
want to see that story. And then they're like, she just ages 100 years in front of their eyes. Turn her into a witch.
You're like, Helen Mirren is now Rey.
BB-8. It's been 70 years.
BB-8.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, that's
terrible
nuts.
marketing wise. Maybe an interesting story, but not at this point. You know what I mean?
I think that was like put in a like planning and emotion when Daisy really wasn't coming back. And they were still interested in the character.
It was his script, so he wrote it, and this is what we're doing, and then they're like, we don't like that, and so that's the back and forth. I think was like, if we don't do it, I'm out, and so they're like, we don't, you're out then.
Yeah.
So
it's just so strange.
I mean, I think he wanted to get away from, hey, I want to do my own story. I don't want to have to connect to all this other stuff and carry back. Because whether you like it or not, whether you like those characters or not, there's baggage to it.
Yeah.
Mainly because of what they did with Luke. But I just think there's baggage. So he wanted to be like, hey, if I'm going to do Star Wars, I don't want to carry this baggage of like, I have to figure out what to do with Finn and Rey. It's like, I can introduce them. She can have her Jedi stuff going and then introduce brand new characters. And if people like them, we move forward with this. I think for him, that was the idea. Like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to start. The best way I can start from scratch is like, give me a big time jump.
Why even include Rey at that point, though?
Like at that point.
Because it needs to be connected.
And because also think about how old Baby Yoda would be.
Heck yeah.
He'd be in his prime.
Ooh, he'd be double wielding dark sabers.
Yeah.
A dark saber and a brown saber.
Brown
Inclusivity.
saber?
Brown saber would not.
We need all the colors.
A little fudgesicle.
We need all the colors. Yeah, so that's it.
Heck
That's
yeah.
kind of interesting.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. That was a question I was going to ask when we were talking about Jedi Survivor. What is your color of lightsaber choice? Because I kept swapping, but my number one I kept falling onto was white. That's just my favorite. But they've got cyan, they've got yellow, they've got orange, they've got magenta. Oh, it's almost like a pinkish.
Green,
blue. But they have blue
Red.
and then they have cyan.
They have like a lighter blue.
So cyan is like a very light, bright blue. But yeah, what would your lightsaber of choice be? The
yellow,
yellow
or purple.
Purple's sick. What about you?
I kind of go for that lighter blue.
Okay, that's cyan.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
And
Like,
what
it's pretty.
What did you guys land on? Or you guys keep switching?
Crystal's always switching it up.
Yeah.
And every time I take over, I have to switch it back.
What do you go? Green?
I go green all day,
Green
baby.
is nice.
Yellow
Classic.
is pretty sweet.
It's classic.
Too.
Yeah. I do like Rey's lightsaber. That's what made me think about it.
Hers is sick.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
I think I picked green in the first game a lot because it had the sound effect of Luke's lightsaber.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's my favorite ignition sound
Yeah.
effect.
Next thing I want to talk about, SnyderCon 2 Full Circle event happened this
When's
weekend.
the release?
Full circle.
Full Circle. Hey, this is what I'll say. When it was announced,
So wait.
when the event was announced,
Here we go.
when the event was announced, we got a ton of people saying, he's going to announce it's over, that he's going to tell all his fans, like, hey, this was a good run. Now I got Rebel Moon coming out. This is a goodbye, right? And then there were other people saying, oh, he's going to announce something, right? So there was that back and forth. Neither of the two happened. So we're back where we started, baby. There's still hope for something to happen.
So stupid.
No, hey,
Well,
I need you
wouldn't call it full
to
circle if it ended. You know, a circle's infinite, so
exactly.
it's just restarting again.
The thing
That's what
about
a circle is.
the thing about the event was some cool information came out just on the ideas they had.
Why would he ever close the door on his fandom?
Exactly. He's not going to. It's
for him
stupid.
to do that. He's always going to.
He's got to eat up anything he poops out.
Keep him on that line. You know?
Anyways, so some of the cool things that came out were that one of the original ideas was that Zeus and Ares, the gods, were actually Kryptonian. That's why they came to Earth, you know, and so that's how Wonder Woman would have powers, and the Amazonians would be descendants of Krypton on Earth. And he said the original idea was that Ares brought down the ship in
stuck in the ice.
the one that stuck in the ice in Man of Steel, that the woman that escaped from that pod that many people thought was Supergirl would be the first, like the mother of the Amazons. Like that whole idea was that they were going to create a whole universe where mythology was basically came from Krypton, which would be kind of interesting. People now are like, oh, that's stupid. But I'm like, the thing I like about Zack Snyder is he has some crazy ideas that I'm like, at least it's unique. So that was one of the things what do you think about that?
Sorry. No.
Go ahead.
No. It's not about that. You just triggered a really stupid idea. Krypton is the planet, right?
Yeah.
Their weakness is
Kryptonite.
okay. We're from Earth. Our weakness would be dirt.
A specific rock.
But it's called, kryptonite. Anyway, I was just thinking about that. I was like, whose bright idea? Anyway.
It wasn't Zack Snyder's bright idea, okay?
I know. Sorry.
That's why Zack Snyder's changing all the lore.
He's like,
but
let's
it's
do
not
it right.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for doing that. I'm sorry. It just I was like, what a weird choice. Anyway.
So that was one of the
Interesting.
the things that people that came out with that. When they were talking about
So no Netflix buyout.
So no,
news, nothing.
Someone
like
asked
that.
him about it, and he said, "He's like, oh, well, I'd really be up for continuing it." Would you continue? He's like, "I'd really be up for doing it."
Oh, for sure.
One of the things that was interesting was
down
they
for money,
asked him, they asked him about the Joker scene from Zack Snyder's Justice League with Batman, and they said, "Why would Batman go and link up with the Joker?" And he's like, "Well, the whole idea was that the Joker knows where there's kryptonite in that timeline. He's the only person that knows that. And so Batman needs, in order to kill Superman, Batman needs to work together with him." That's kind of a cool idea. And the other thing that I thought was pretty cool was as they're talking about kind of that whole timeline, he said if they were able, Chris Terrio, who wrote BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League, he's like, a lot of people complained about like how did Darkseid forget where Earth was, where the anti-life equation was.
That was a big complaint. Yeah.
And then Chris Terrio was like, he's like, it's not that he just forgot. He's like, there was some backstabbing and some things that went on Apocalypse with Darkseid's family. He's like, there's a reason Steppenwolf is banished and all this kind of stuff that we were going to go into in the next movie. It wasn't just going to be about Batman in that time. You were going to see what happened on Darkseid's side. So that was kind of cool to be like, that was pretty cool. But an interesting thing, they asked him about Robin.
You want a straw?
They asked him about Robin being dead, and
I want an IV.
And they said
Directly into the veins.
They said, "Can you explain how Robin was killed and all that?" And Zack Snyder said, he's like, "I don't want to go into a lot of detail in case
we do another movie."
He said, "In case this story actually gets told."
He's told everyone with everything else about his story.
Yeah.
Well, then that's kind of interesting that's the decision he made to say, I don't want to explain this because I don't want to spoil anything in case it ends up getting stolen.
Everything. Okay.
No, he knows
on
it.
the spot. Okay?
But
I don't want to say everything. Guys.
One of the cool things was
He's like, I don't know, poison? I don't know.
One of the cool things was at the event is Ben Affleck showed up for the Q&A with Ray Fisher and Ray Porter, and that was cool.
Nice.
So
It's cool.
Everything that Zack Snyder talked about, he didn't say, "Oh, it's over." He actually made some comments saying, like, "I don't want to spoil anything." So this is my prediction. You can mark it down. If I'm wrong, I don't know what's going to happen to me, but I was wrong. Whatever. I think
Zack Snyder tattoo on around the nipple.
I want to get full circle.
Yeah, full circle right here, baby.
Full circle around the nipple.
Yeah.
No,
that's what I'm talking about.
I think Rebel Moon's going to come out, and then once Rebel Moon is done, I think they're going to announce that he is going to do the 2 movies.
With WB or is Netflix buying the rights?
I think they're going to work. I think they're going to work something out. I think they're going to work something out with Netflix and WB. So I think we're going to get Rebel Moon.
Can you commit to a live action?
It's going to be live action.
Okay.
It's going to be with Ben Affleck. It's going to be Henry Cavill. It's going to be those actors.
Wait.
How
long is he committing to Rebel Moon for?
He already filmed both movies. They're already both filmed.
Okay.
Yeah, but he also said, isn't there like a billion spinoffs? He's like,
he's still doing Army of the Dead and other stuff, but he has a production company.
Yeah, he can just cut that one.
He's doing other stuff.
Bad movie.
You guys are haters.
But it's a terrible movie.
It was a bad
It's not a bad movie.
There's some good stuff in it.
Give me a Guardians of Gahul sequel, then we're talking.
But I think that's what's going to happen. I think there's going to be an announcement a year from now, a year and a half from now, that they're going to film the 2 movies back to back, and you're going to get those actors. It'll take about 8 months.
You're not coming to year and a half from now.
Rebel Moon comes out in November.
Year and a half from now.
Comes out in November.
It won't fully be out. Both of them won't be fully out. You said 2 movies, right?
Yeah, but they're already both filmed.
I get that.
But what I'm saying is,
you can't start promoting a different movie before your second.
I'm not saying you promote it. I'm saying it's going to announce.
Or they announce
it's going to be announced that this is the next thing after Rebel Moon. This deal has been made. The Snyder Cut's the 2 movies are going to happen.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Not that could be 2 years from then, but I'm saying I think in a year and a half to 2 years they announce that he's going to finish his
year and a half. Now it's 2 years.
I said a year to a
year and a half.
A year to a year and a half. Sure.
So which one do you want to commit to?
Well, I mean, the most amount I can get. How much are you guys going to give me? A year and a half.
All right, you got it.
So that's what I think. It's going to be announced that he's going to finish his arc.
Wow.
I would love if that's true. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Well, what do you got to say, Josh?
I was really hoping that he would just put us all out of our misery on this event.
There's no misery. Like
hours.
There's no. There's no.
Oh, you mean for the podcast?
Yeah. I got to listen to this for another year and a half, and then you're gonna be like, well, he had the second circle event, and he teased that maybe.
No. I will Thanksgiving dinner.
I will just remind you
in the background, bro.
For years, I was mocked about the Snyder Cut existing and everything. And guess what? The Snyder Cut exists and it got released.
I don't think it was years.
Yes, it was. The Justice League came out in 2017. And that's very close after that. Everyone started talking about release the Snyder Cut. When was the Snyder Cut released?
I don't know, bro.
2021. Okay. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's 4 years that I was talking about the Snyder Cut.
And just think about what a waste of energy it was.
Why it was a waste of energy? I enjoyed going in, seeing posts. This is what I don't understand. People are like, this, just let people out of the misery. This is dumb. They're fueling false hope.
I'm sorry. Misery of listening to you is what we meant. Okay. You can enjoy it all you want.
Well, guess what? I was right. I was right about the Snyder Cut.
Oh, the first one? Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying to say. I could be wrong about this one, but I also could be right. Well, get used to it. Here's the deal. Even if
I'm 1 out of 500 nailing one of these predictions, baby. But I was right that
dropping dimes. But this is what I'm saying. I enjoy those movies. I enjoy those movies so much that even if he was like, "Hey, I'm not going to continue the story," I'm still going to talk about Zack Snyder and those movies. Like, yeah. I'm sorry. It's going to happen. You're going to hear me to be like, oh, BVS, this was awesome. Oh, no. I just learned this about BVS.
That's what I'm saying. That's 100% fine.
It's going to happen anyway.
It's the constant but he said that he doesn't want to say how Robin died because he might tell the story someday. And then everyone's like, maybe it's going to happen. And then it's not going to happen.
And how does that
then he's going to do another event. And then you're going to be like,
and
well,
how does
tweeted,
that? And how does that affect you?
He tweeted a picture of a crowbar, and then so that's clearly a reference to Robin dying. So they're gonna. Oh, and there's kryptonite in the corner.
The difference is the track record of Zack Snyder doing that is he did that, and guess what? It actually happened. So
no, it didn't happen.
The Snyder Cut didn't happen.
The Snyder Cut did. He also posted a thing about Darkseid and Thanksgiving and Crisis on Infinite or whatever it was, and everyone was like,
so you're
"That's
taking
his next movie."
So you're taking
and nothing
one.
happened.
But you're taking one. You're taking
one thing that actually happened. The Snyder Cut's the only thing that's happened. All the other stuff he's teased hasn't happened.
All the other stuff he teased was the Snyder Cut. You're taking one post that he put up that you're saying like. That you're going off by what people said was going to happen.
He was posting a bunch of stuff in that vein of like, oh, Darkseid story. Nothing ever happened.
He posted. What other things did he post in that vein?
I don't know. I don't have a bureau account.
Exactly. You're taking one post and saying like, oh, he was posting all this stuff. And that's not true. He take one post that people said, oh, is this going to be something? Which could have been, because at that point, the people in charge were in talks with Zack Snyder.
Didn't happen.
Okay, but then
the full circle thing, they posted a picture of Darkseid, and they were like,
it wasn't a picture of Darkseid.
Okay, it said transmission incoming, and it was related to Darkseid, right?
Right, and then he
said, it's just an event where I'm going to screen stuff.
No, Ray Porter came out and said, this is the event. That was the incoming transmission. He said, this is an event you can go to. Same thing with it. He dropped a picture of Darkseid, and it was for shirts you could buy, which I bought my shirt. So what you're saying is these posts that you're saying are, oh, he's teasing stuff, that actually happened. The transmission that happened was for SnyderCon 2. So I don't know why you're getting upset that he teased an event that you didn't even want to go to that ended up happening. That doesn't mean
you're going to pay me $1 million to go to that event.
Oh, shut up.
No, I would actually like to go and say, shame on you, sir. Shame on you for dragging these poor people and their hopes through the mud.
Oh man, I think it's. I mean, you're not wrong. I think that he does tease a lot of things, and obviously I can't recall the things that you've mentioned in the past 2 years, but I mean it's not hurting me. So go for it, buddy. Go crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I hope Rebel Moon's good, and I hope whatever else he's doing in the near future is also good as well. So, but we'll see. we'll see. Yeah, I will say, I saw this like post from someone. I don't know which movie. What was the movie where you see Zeus like fighting in that giant war? Was that when was that?
That was Justice League.
Yeah,
that was the Snyder Cut.
That was the Snyder Cut. I will say it was kind of lame seeing Green Lantern just shoot like a green beam where he can imagine anything and create anything he wants, but he's just like, and he just gets owned.
He got his hand cut off by Darkseid.
I know, but like he could have been like, I don't know. He could imagine it. Like that power to me feels so overpowered. Your imagination is the only thing that limits you.
That guy doesn't have a good imagination, obviously.
As a Green Lantern. He sucks.
That's why he died. Man. That's why the ring flew away. He's like, I'm out.
Yo, I know. I was just like, what an idiot. And he's like close range with him and he gets owned.
I mean, that's always a huge.
That's a problem with Green Lantern.
That's a huge knock on Green Lantern. It's always I'm gonna make a giant fist,
a giant baseball bat,
or a giant
with spikes.
I gotta fix this problem. Giant baseball glove, or it's always that type of stuff.
Yeah,
and Green Lantern is a cool character, but it always falls.
Yeah, why wouldn't you make an army of like 1 million ants, dudes with machine guns?
I imagine a billion spikes coming out of the ground and just skewering all of my enemies. Boom, just
1 million Gokus. Done.
Does it work that way? Can you imagine a person?
Yeah,
it's anything you can imagine.
I'm sure you can imagine a Mickey Mouse just beating someone up. I'm sure you could do that.
Yeah, there's different continuities. Like sometimes it's like down to like the microscopic level. Like if he imagines like a flamethrower, real flames come out. But sometimes it's like the green flame. So
there's no like rule.
There's different continuity.
Is there a rule like you need to know how to make the thing?
It's all willpower.
Okay, so it's just Could you just be like kind of like Genie with a wish? Be like, I wish for 9 more rings, and then you get more powerful.
No,
I don't think that would work.
But
it's
you know
just
what I'm saying? It's like wishing for more wishes.
It's a concentration spell, technically.
Okay, so you can only do one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks. Little D&D reference.
Okay, you revealed that.
That's right. Yeah. When is Rebel Moon supposed to come out?
December, right?
December.
It wasn't even on
Really?
your top 10.
Oh my god!
I didn't know it was coming out this year.
Yeah, probably not.
I didn't know it was coming out.
yeah,
It just
at
got
that
announced
point it
later. At
wasn't.
that point, it was like, oh, well, when is it from?
Hey, you know what was on your list? Super Mario Bros.
That's right.
Guess
And it
who
passed a
just
billion, baby.
Passed a billion worldwide.
Yeah.
You know what? That Mario
Ba-bam,
movie was
ba-bam,
on my
ba-bam.
list 2 years in a row, even when it wasn't coming out that year.
Yeah.
And y'all laughed at me. Well, who's
you were
laughing
wrong.
now?
Well, you're wrong the first year,
Nintendo
so-
is laughing now.
Yeah.
Laughing to the bank with all our money.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, it was kind of funny. Full circle, Zack Snyder. They were doing the Q&A at the
Not this
IMAX,
again.
and then Zack Snyder's like, "Hey, we actually this is the last question because we have to. They're kicking us out because the Mario movie is coming in here next."
Nice.
So
When is the?
they also put the whole Mario movie on Twitter,
I heard that too.
and like a million
saw
people
it.
watched it, and I was
Someone uploaded it,
the full movie
and
on
apparently,
Twitter.
like they
a
got away with
bootleg
it for a while.
copy, or?
Yeah,
the full
was
thing.
it a digital cut, like a DVD
Yeah, it
cut?
looked really good. I started watching the first part of it.
nice.
The other thing, speaking of leaks, Tears of the Kingdom, the full game
I
just
saw
leaked.
that too. Oh,
really?
Which
Yeah,
is
'cause
crazy and very unlike Nintendo. to do.
Because they still sold some retail copies. So
Yep.
someone sold retail copies
Too
for
early.
like 300 on Mercari, and then it
Yep.
found its way on. So the full game is now out.
That
so
sucks.
avoid spoilers if you're a Tears of the Kingdom fan.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
Yeah.
Where my Tears of the Kingdom fans at? Hey,
Isn't that
Tears of the Kingdom,
crazy?
hi-ya.
Dude, that's nuts, dude. Whoever leaked that, dude, they're done.
they're done, dude.
They're
They found
done.
Well, what they're saying is
You'll never
the
Nintendo.
family is
The problem
Off.
with the people saying the problem with the Switch is it's so easy to hack that the only way Nintendo would be able to do something is to put a internet connectivity
Live service.
so that you have to in order to play.
That's why all these games are live service and online only, like Diablo. Everyone's like, well, gosh dang it. I remember when Diablo 1 and 2, you could play locally. You didn't have to have internet.
Yeah,
Well, it's to protect themselves.
yeah, because now they
So
can't.
you can't
protect your
mod.
neck.
Protect your neck.
Yeah, so they're saying that Nintendo might do that, and then they're like, what they could do is you do that, and then the day it launches, you put a patch that removes that. They're able to do that, I guess. That takes away the internet connectivity, disables it.
That'd be
So they're like, that might be something they could do, but they're like, it's going to keep happening because people are going to sell. Like when
I mean,
a Best Buy or a GameStop gets a copy, one of their employees sells it, and that's all it takes, and then you got the full game. So, anyways, I'm excited for that game though. That game's going to be sick.
yeah.
I watched the first 20 minutes.
When's that coming out?
The 12th,
2 weeks.
next Friday. Not next Friday, but the Friday after.
Yeah.
Dang.
We got Visions 2 coming up.
Yeah,
May the
Next
4th.
week.
In a couple days.
yeah. That's
A couple
yeah.
days from now. 3-4
All
days.
30 minutes of Visions is going to be awesome. Can't wait to be
What
like,
a bummer.
you, yay, I watched 40 minutes of Star Wars.
Yo, think about
Now I got to
this.
wait 4 more years to get into Visions 3.
Think about this, bro. You see these cool, unique posters that they're making for each short, right?
Yeah.
Bro, the graphic designer who worked on it longer than the actual short itself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're so
crazy.
short. But they look cool.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I think we said earlier, Guardians 3 is coming out this
Yeah.
weekend.
You guys watching it? This
Yeah,
weekend?
yeah, I'll watch it.
It's the last one.
I heard it's the
It
best
is
one.
what. Yeah.
So, it's kind of a
I finally
say
saw.
goodbye to it kind of a thing.
I finally saw a clip that I thought was good. The clip with the animals.
one?
The one with the animals where they're all laying in the cage and they're talking about like they give themselves their names.
Yeah.
Thought that was a good little scene there. But the other ones were hogwash. Garbage. Trash.
Dog water.
Dog water.
That's a new one.
Rum raisin.
That's crazy.
Yum.
Pickle filler.
What?
Puka shells. You know the puka shells?
That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad.
It is bad. When you see a guy wearing a puka shell, like really tight, like necklace, that's bad.
Okay.
I used to.
You know
Well, that was my gift to you guys.
Yeah, but that was but that was back in the day. That was back in the day where that was popular. Now you see a guy with puka
choker
shells,
style, like
To
tight.
watch out.
or guys in high school wearing the pearl necklaces. That's
That
bad.
is
That's
crazy.
a bad look. That's a dumb bad look. Yeah, bad.
That's a dumb bad look.
Yeah.
And I did that when I was a little kid, like 5 years old. Went into my mom's little jewelry drawer. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
pearls.
Wow.
These aren't real.
This is for all you necklace nerds out there.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta tie it all together.
Exactly. I think that's it for the
Yeah.
episode. Corey, thanks again for this sick sweatshirt.
Yes, thanks. Bro.
Let us know anything that we talked about if you're interested in it. If you're going to go watch Guardians of the Galaxy, let us know what you thought next week. I'm sure we'll have some discussion on it.
I might go see it.
Yeah,
I
I
might
might.
like matinee on Sunday or something like that.
I might
or
go,
Saturday.
or Melissa will
Someone
go,
else
and she'll
has to,
tell me
because
about it.
I can't be the only one talking about it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll find
Never
out.
a good thing.
But yeah, let us know what you thought. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. If Corey, let us know if you want Corey to do some more Jedi Survivor streaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll be back next week with more Nerd Age.